Hello everyone, and welcome to a different type of video I'm going to do. So this video is actually going to be a tier list, and I'm also going to use a screen recorder for the first time. So this video may be a bit different, and it may not be as good in quality as my other videos because it's the first one I've done. Well, my other videos aren't that good in quality anyways, but you know what I mean. So I wanted to do this video because I haven't really seen a type of video like this. And I actually wanted to have a guide of seeing what bosses are hard or easy in a Mario RPG case. In a Mario RPG. Whoops. So in this case, I'm going to be doing Mario and Luigi Partners in Time just because I recently played this game and therefore I have good memory of knowing what bosses are hard and what bosses are easy. So what I'm going to be first doing is I'm just going to tell you what each tier means. So we have the F tier, which I'm going to basically put all the tutorial bosses in. Basically bosses where it's almost impossible to lose. The E tier are bosses which are really easy, which I can beat super quickly and can be maybe exploited through some way. The D tier are like bosses which don't do much damage to you. You can defeat them easily, you know. C tier is obviously average, like the bosses. Yeah, maybe they aren't that easy, they aren't that hard. Basic sense, right? The B tier is the tier where the bosses could be a little bit tricky. Like maybe one of your bros could be under half of your health by the end of the boss, right? A tier is a boss where I would include a boss where I would throughout the battle have to heal multiple times, and maybe one of my bros could have possibly died if I didn't heal. The S tier is any boss where I have had to retry the boss and actually died once, or I had to heal so many times throughout the battle. So let's get started, and you can judge me all you want that I'm using PowerPoint if you notice. Instead of tier list maker or Photoshop. Well, PowerPoint's just the easiest for me, so that's why I'm using it. So let's start off with the first three. So you have Bowser Jr. Sorry if I forget of which of these names. Junior Shrooboid. And just a Shroob in the F tier. So what these bosses are basically all tutorial fights. So Bowser Jr. was a tutorial fight. You fight against Baby Mario. The one against Mario was Junior Shrooboid, and the one where you first learned how to use your first bros item was the Shroob. I'm not counting the Shroob fight where Mario and Luigi lost. So yeah, tutorial fights, almost impossible to lose unless you purposely try. I don't even know if it's possible to lose. So let's actually truly get started. So I forgot what you're called. I'm sorry, I didn't remember what these guys are called. I'm just gonna call it a hammer bro. But it's a hypnotized hammer bro. Anyway, so this fight is actually a mini boss. Well, I technically call it as one. And you fight as the babies. And this boss is quite easy, does decent amount of damage, but it is more on the easy side. Like, yeah, I'm going to be taking too much damage and the boss will be over pretty quick. And it is a mini boss, so D tier for you. Now we have the first actual boss in the game. Oh, and also I need to say to you that when I played through this game, I'm playing the PAL version, not the North American version. So it may vary. If I had the North American version, I could put these in higher tiers. But the North American version, there are mainly a lot of changes throughout near the end of the game. Anyway, so Swiggle was a fight where I'd say that I beat it like normally, like it did quite a bit of damage to me, not too much where it was like insane, like maybe quarter my health or something. And also, I'm not too good at the Mario and Luigi games, but I won't call myself bad, I'm just average. So I'd say Swiggle is like a perfect C tier, cause there isn't anything too hard about it, there isn't anything too easy about it. There's nothing will drive you nuts, there's nothing where you can easily exploit the boss. Not really. Okay, on to our next boss, which is also a mini boss, and I think this is the last mini boss actually. So this is Chemic, of course. So Chemic was a pretty easy fight. There wasn't really anything outstanding Chemic had. Like, it had a few moves. Like, there was one move where it was throwing spike balls, which was hard to hit. However, half of the time, Chemic just threw mushrooms at me and I got fully healed. And when Chemic switches positions, it's not that bad because you have like the fire flower and the ice flower. And the cannonball at this point of the game does quite a lot of damage. But I could say this is a bit on the easy side, but I can also say this is low in the C tier. I'm gonna put this low in the C tier, but later on, I may change it. Now, on to Sunnyside. Yes, I did remember the name. So, with Sunnyside is... like, there was a gimmick with Sunnyside with a lot of health, and it was actually pretty easy to just use smash eggs and crack the eggs open, I guess, and then get the Yoshis and then do a buttload of damage to Sunnyside. And when Sunnyside fell down, it was pretty easy to do a lot of damage. However, this boss fight did take a while because I was about to defeat Sunnyside, like on my first try. However, then it got back up and then it had lots of defense. And I was like, screwed, I'm not gonna crack all those eggs open and do a bunch of damage. I'm just gonna use brute force and damage you by your defense stat. And that could have personally been why this boss was the difference between an average boss and an easy boss for me. So maybe you could have put this as an easy boss, but I'm thinking C tier. And in my opinion, in Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, I think this is probably the second or third hardest Mario and Luigi game. In my opinion, the easiest Mario and Luigi game is the original Superstar Saga, cause Mush Badge. I'm not counting the Rough Badge strategy for this because I'm not counting any danger mode strategies. But if there is a really good strategy, then I will count it, unless it's danger mode, like the Rough Badge in this game. Okay, on to Shroob Brat. Now, this boss fight was the first boss fight where I would be able to use the trampolines and the pocket chomps, right? So, trampolines were pretty OP at this stage of the game. And also, pocket chomps were pretty good, too. So, I did like 400 damage on this guy using a single pocket chomp. And I defeated this guy really easily. I'd say his attacks weren't really that hard to dodge too. So I may put Shroob Brat in the E tier because he was pretty easy because it was the first boss fight we could use a trampoline. And you can use a trampoline until like forever basically. Until you one-shot the boss. If you're really good, but most people aren't, including me. But most people like me can still do a bunch of damage to Shroob Brat. And I didn't even use a trampoline for this boss. I used a pocket chomp. It still did so much. Okay, on to Petey Piranha. Well, gee, Gritzy Desert and Cave are pretty easy because Petey Piranha is another easy boss. You can even just use a Bro Flower on this boss because Petey Piranha is weak to the Bro Flower. And you can easily destroy with that. I destroyed Petey Piranha so quickly that it didn't even go into that phase where it was under the ground. It's hard to explain, I'm sorry. So, Petey Piranha, I wouldn't say it's on that level with Shroob Brat, but it's still a pretty easy boss. That's why I'm gonna put it in the D tier. Now, on to... I forgot what you call it. Oh, Mrs. Thwomp. Yes, the only female Thwomp in the Mario franchise by memory. Which, for being the only female Thwomp, you aren't really that attractive, but you don't really have much competition. Don't know really why I said that, but just saying that. So this boss was actually harder in the European version, which is a fun fact if you didn't know. Well, not the European version, the PAL version. So... the non-North American version. So this boss was still like really easy anyways. But yeah, I guess D tier, like say, because you could also in that stage where Mrs. Thwomp is in that place, kind of like Chemic, how it has multiple, like it forms into multiple things, like multiple Mrs. Thwomps. You know which one is the right one if you do know. Like, it's the one with the normal teeth, right? So you can basically just go ham on that one. And this is the first boss fight with the copy flowers, which is the trampoline, which you can do infinite damage with, but the copy flower is the same thing, but you can do damage faster. It's better for people who are impatient like me, but I still like the trampoline more. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. Now, Bowser and Bowser Jr., I really like this fight because it was kind of cute how Bowser and Bowser Jr. were together, kind of like how the bros and the babies are. So, this fight was the first fight where you could tell the differences between the two versions, with the non-North American version having less HP and tending to have more attack. However, Bowser Jr. did have more HP. And with the North American version having less attack but more HP, which I think makes it harder. However, this boss fight was pretty quick, and I don't know if I could put this in C tier. Like, it was a low C tier, because there were some attacks which were hard and did quite a bit of damage. However, I defeated the boss pretty quickly. Heck, I defeated Bowser Jr. before Bowser with that attack he does where Bowser bails out afterwards. So I think I'll put this in low C tier. I'm not exactly sure. Please tell me anything to change in the comments. Just don't be mean about it, okay? Now, SAB, yeah. These tiers are pretty empty, but not for too long, because now the difficulty is increasing. I like how in this game, the later bosses tend to be harder than the, earlier bosses, which makes sense. However, in other Mario and Luigi games, the later bosses actually tend to be a bit easier due to getting maybe items really early than supposed to. Like in Bowser's Inside Story, how you can get the magic door pretty early on. So now you have Commander Shroob, and I liked his gimmick. And this boss has quite a lot of damage. Like, it does quite a lot of damage to me, and I was actually under half health with Mario. Maybe because I did have the rough badge on, but with the Commander Shroob, the attack which I suffered the most from was that attack where he just whacks a bunch of Shroobs and you have to counter them all. And his gimmick of having that bomb, well, it's called like a Shroob bomb or something. I don't know. It did make the fight go on for a bit more, and he did come out with that bomb twice. Like, it's not only a one-off thing. So, due to him, making the fight longer with that gimmick, and also having attacks which can hit multiple times and do a bunch of damage, Commander Shroob is probably going to be my first B tier, where B tier is basically where one of my, or two of my bros got under half of their HP. But I didn't have to heal in the fight. So far, all of these bosses, I didn't need to heal a single time in the battle. The only item I really used was red peppers. So now on to Elder Shrooboid difference. So now this boss fight was actually quite easy, and this boss fight was harder in the, I would say it's drastically harder in the North American version. Sorry about that burp, but just because in the boss fight, he has more health, and when you're in that second half of the boss fight, when he grows big, right, he has quite a lot of health. Right, but in the not European version, non-North American version, he has less health, so it's easier to kill within that timer. And there is this one attack where he throws a spike ball, and if you hit at the UFO, it will increase the amount of turns left, which makes the boss fight easy, and I did find that attack to be easy to counterattack. So it did make the fight easier for me. However, for me personally, I would put this in the D tier. However, I'm saying however a lot, right? This boss fight, if you cannot deflect that attack, this fight may be harder. And also, when you do, he lays on the ground, so you can actually do jumping attacks, and you're pretty limited if you don't. And if you're not playing the North American version, he's also resistant to mixed flowers. So your best option and he's spiked, by the way. So your best option when he's in like this state, which you see right now. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse or not, but when he's in this state, I'd say the best attack to do is the red shells or the ice flower, which isn't really that good. So if you can counterattack, it would be D tier. But if you can't, this would be like A tier boss. Personally, for me, I will put D tier. However, I'm gonna be a bit lenient just because of that factor, and I'm gonna put Elder Shroob in the C tier. Now, on to the last 3 bosses. Now, I'm just gonna take the final one, Shrouzer, because this wasn't really a boss fight. I'm also not sure to include it or not, because it's just a fight where it's just practicing your counter-attack skills. I personally do not like this, and I wish it was just like a mini-game before the final boss and not make stuff after the final boss, which aren't even post-game, because there isn't post-game in the game. Definitely my biggest gripe about the game. However, it's counter-attacking, and if you're not good at counter-attacking, then pretty screwed for this boss. However, his attacks are pretty easy to counter-attack. However, the thing about Shrouzer is that, whoops, brain fart. The thing about Shrouzer is that his attacks are pretty easy to deflect. The only attack I have trouble with is when he throws fire, which goes like from the top to bottom to attack the bros. Because I never really focused on actually Elder Princess Shroob showing which bro is which. I don't know why I didn't figure it out. Like, I realized it afterwards. However, the boss was still really easy. And even if you have troubles with the boss, you can like change your maybe stats a bit. Because before this fight, you can change your gear if you want tanky sets. I'm not sure if that's possible or not though. So this boss is pretty easy, but is it E tier? Like, I did take a bit of damage, but I'll put D tier. Okay, now onto the 2 princesses. Well, they don't look like princesses, but they have crowns, so they're princesses. So Princess Shroob. Now, with Princess Shroob, the boss basically for me was, well, with these 2 bosses, fun fact, I keep on telling the difference between the 2 versions, but it's something to tell about the difficulty, but this is the difficulty about the non-North American version, okay? So with Princess Shroob, I think that this boss was a case where Princess Shroob was doing a bunch of damage to me. Like, Mario at the end of the fight was on like 24 HP, while Luigi was like on 104 HP. I don't know, she had this thing on hating Mario. But I defeated this boss really quickly, but it did a bunch of damage to me too. Like that attack at the end when she's mad and she just goes ham and throws all those circly things. I don't know what they call them. It does a lot of damage and it racks up fast. And because of that, I'm gonna put Princess Shroob in the B tier. I wouldn't say it's A tier because I didn't even heal once in the battle. And the battle ended pretty quickly. However, if you're playing the North American version, the battle will go on longer. However, Princess Shroob won't do as much damage, but it's still a lot, and it's still technically harder, because Princess Shroob in the North American version has like double the HP, it's insane. Same with Elder Princess Shroob. Now, with this fight, I'd say, due to this fight being quite long, like, it was like double the longness, that's not a word, but you know what I mean, in the North American version. However, Elder Princess Shroob did a lot of damage, mainly in that second phase, I'd say. Because the first phase, it had attacks which were really easy to dodge, dodge or counterattack. Especially that UFO attack, where you have to hit it with Mario and Luigi, like Mario Fire, Luigi Electric, or Thunder, reference to Superstar Saga. So the first phase was quite easy, but the second phase did quite a lot of damage, and because the fight was long, I had to heal multiple times. And due to what I said at the start of the video, is it going to be S or A tier? Well, I defeated it on my first try, so it's an A tier. And that is it for my list. That is it. So you can look at this list if you want. If you have any problems with it, just let me know. However, I'm not going to stop here. a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually see like which fights were personally harder for me, like rank them. Don't really need to rank them, don't need you to rank. For the DT, I think I'm gonna put this Hammerbird there. I'm gonna put Mrs. Thwomp here. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just trying to maybe make it a rank. I was gonna make this video ranking video. However, I was thinking tier list like just less effort. And I'm not really that good at editing anyway, so it's just gonna look really bad. Like when I do the ranking and I do the numbers, like number 9, it's gonna look weird. Well, I don't have to do that, but anyways, I'm talking about this video, not some other side topic. I bet no one's watching at this stage, but it's okay. Okay, so Elder Shroob, I'd say, is at the top. Chemic is probably at the end. Yeah, I'm gonna put Elder Shroob here. Gonna put Sunnyside there. Gonna put, I think Bowser and Bowser Jr., even though the fight ended quicker, I think they did more damage to me than Swiggler did. So I'm gonna do that. And then obviously top, so can't really change by itself. But I'd say Princess Shroob is harder than Commander Shroob. I felt like, but the Commander Shroob fight did go for longer. However, the Princess Shroob fight, she did do more damage to me. However, the fight ended really quickly. So yeah, that's basically it for my list. There isn't really anything I'm gonna say to end this video. Just that, hope you enjoyed seeing my thoughts. If you think any bosses were harder, please let me know in the comments down below. Please subscribe, please like, and thank you so much. And if this video does good, even though it's a different video, I may make a video like this again. Maybe like another tier list on a different game, maybe. Or it can be just ranking the games in general. Well, not ranking, but I ranked it, but it's on a tier list. So you know what I mean. Anyways, I'd also like to thank all of you guys for me hitting 3,000 views. Really appreciate it. And 30 subscribers. I know that doesn't sound like much, but for me, it means a lot. So thanks for watching. See you guys later. And bye.